Hi, my name is Steve Lang. I'm the Assistant Director for Career Services at Central Washington University's Westside Centers in Des Moines and Pierce County. This presentation is designed to help provide you with some important rules and guidelines, as well as some additional tips on how to create an effective cover letter. So let's get started. How I would like to start is just first, I'd like to cover a couple of the most frequently asked questions about cover letters. So the first one is, should I send a cover letter when it's not requested? The answer to this is yes. Always send a cover letter whenever possible. So why should you send a cover letter? Well, the importance of a cover letter, unlike your resume, which does not allow you to present much of your personality, the cover letter allows you to personalize your application, to express your enthusiasm for the position or the company, and to put your qualifications in context to the job. It gives the employer an opportunity to think of you as a person rather than just an applicant. In a 2020 survey of 236 hiring managers and recruiters by Resume Go, they found that 87% read cover letters. Only 13% did not. So one other question that often comes up is, how long should a cover letter be? It should be 1 page or less, and we always recommend using the standard business letter format. It'll be typically 3 to 4 paragraphs long. A cover letter is an opportunity to make a positive first impression. So one of the things about cover letters that I've discovered in working with employers over the years is you never know in what order your application documents will be read. I've talked with some employers that read the cover letter first to see how articulate and kind of see the enthusiasm for an applicant for the position. And then they'll read the resume if they see the enthusiasm there. I've also visited with other employers that read the resumes first and then put all the candidates with the best qualifications together, kind of put together their top list, and then they'll read the cover letters, and whichever candidates are most able to articulate and share their enthusiasm about the position, then those will be lifted to the top of the candidate pool. Cover letters are also especially important when writing is a key component of the job. So in other words, a good cover letter can really help you in your application, whereas a bad cover letter will certainly hurt you. So here are some tips to writing a good cover letter. Just like when you're building a resume, it's really a good idea to have a copy of the job description so you know what the requirements and the required qualifications are, and you can also incorporate the keywords into your cover letter and also relate how your skills, abilities match the requirements of the job to which you are applying. It's also a good idea to research the company so you know its mission, its purpose, and values. And this also, researching the company, will give you an opportunity maybe to include a little bit of information about the company in your cover letter, which shows the hiring manager or the employer that you know who they are and you are definitely excited about working with them. And then the other thing, plan on spending at least twice as much time as you think you will need to write your cover letter. Writing good cover letters takes a considerable amount of time. So let's talk about the parts of a cover letter. I typically recommend that you use the same heading or same as you do on your resume. In other words, your resume, I consider that like a letterhead. So you want to pull that same heading and put it on top of your cover letter. A couple of reasons I think that's a good idea is that oftentimes you will see a resume has as your name is the most prominent thing on the document. And then to turn over to the cover letter and your name is not anywhere to be seen except clear at the bottom. So two things. One is by using the same heading as on your resume, it ties your cover letter and resume together, and it also enables that employer or hiring manager the first thing they're probably going to see on the cover letter is your name. So that's what I recommend. And then you go down and put your heading and opening salutation, where you will include the date, the contact's name, title of the company, and the addressing line. And then begin your letter with "Dear," and it's always best if you have the name of the individual that's the hiring manager or your contact, and say "Dear," whatever that person's name is. If you don't know the name, there's a couple options. Most employers recommend "Dear Hiring Manager" as the second best option. If you want to do some research and check the company websites for the name of the hiring manager, that's a great idea. And if you can't find that, it's okay to make an inquiry call to the HR department and find out if they will allow you to provide you with the name of the hiring manager so that you can address the letter to the appropriate person. Under no circumstances should you use "to whom it may concern" or "dear madam" or "sir." Employers look at this as sort of being lazy. You haven't done your research to know enough about the job to know who you're sending your cover letter to. So now let's talk about the introduction paragraph. You really should, in your introduction paragraph, state the position to which you are applying and where and how you heard about it or the company, and project enthusiasm. But don't overdo it. I mean, be honest about your enthusiasm for the position and highlight why you believe you are qualified. One of the things that I often see when students and even older individuals writing cover letters, they'll write a cover letter and express great enthusiasm for the job, but they never list what job it is. And so this can be troublesome, especially if a company has multiple positions open and the hiring manager is overviewing or supervising the hiring of several people. He's not going to know what a position you're applying to. So make sure you incorporate that into the opening paragraph of the sentence. If it was a referral, use the person's name that referred you, but only if they have given you permission, and only if they are a known person and held in high regard by the company. If you use a name that the company has no idea who it is, it doesn't really add a lot of value to your introductory paragraph in your cover letter. So now let's get to the body paragraphs. This is the largest section of your letter. So here is where you provide some examples of your education and experiences, knowledge, skills, and abilities and relate how they are relevant to the position. In other words, you want to talk about the transferable skills you may have had in a very different type of position that are relevant for the position you're applying to. And then use numbers to demonstrate achievement. If you were in a sales position, were you achieving certain sales goals? Were you a top salesperson? Or if you worked in teams, how many people did you work with? So use numbers to demonstrate achievement. And then this is also a great area where you can make a strong connection between your personal attributes, such as strong communication, customer service, and leadership skills on the job, to kind of emphasize that you have the qualifications, not only the knowledge, skills, and abilities, but also the personal attributes to be an effective person in this role. One of the things I always suggest is do not repeat what's on your resume. I see that an awful lot. You already have that information on the resume. Don't just repeat the same thing in your cover letter, as your cover letter gives you an opportunity to really expand on that. So the closing paragraph. This is where you want to reiterate your interest in the position and that you are confident or you believe you possess the qualifications for the position. And then you want to ask for the interview, not just a direct ask, I look forward to interviewing, but a really good way to phrase it is, I look forward to an opportunity to visit with you further or discuss this position with you further, or if you can insert the title of the position there as well. And then it's also equally important to make it easy for them to reach you. Like close with, I can be reached by phone, insert your phone number, or by email and enclose your email address. And then if there is a very short window that they're able to reach you, you can put that time frame in there. But generally, if they're going to email you, you have an opportunity to receive that email anytime. So make it easy for them to reach you, even though you have that information at the top of your resume and the top of your cover letter. If they've reviewed your resume and then read your cover letter and they're extremely impressed and they want to contact you right away, you might be their top candidate. Make it really easy. Right at the end of the cover letter, they can just send you a quick email or make a quick phone call. And then thank the employer for considering you for the position. It can just be a final statement that says, thank you for your consideration. So in your closing salutation, the standard business closing salutation is sincerely. I also think respectfully is a really good closing salutation to use above your name and signature. And then one other thing, if you are attaching documents, leave a few spaces below your signature line and then just add enclosures and then a little colon and then list what you're including, such as a resume, letters of reference, or a portfolio of your work. So here's a couple other additional considerations. Is I'm going to reemphasize, use the standard business letter format. There may be occasions where a memo format would be more appropriate, where you don't have the address, you only have the position, the person that you're contacting and the company, and you may have a position number that's listed, and then so you want to refer to that. But generally use the standard business letter format. And then I can't emphasize enough, proof it carefully. and one of the best ways to proof it really carefully is to read it out loud. I know you've maybe spent a long time working on this letter to perfect the sentences and sentence structure and how it sounds. But if you don't read it out loud, you really don't know what it sounds like to somebody else reading it. You may imagine what it sounds like because you've been working on it, but it's a great, read it out loud, and it's a great way to catch those clumsy sentences, catch grammatical errors, and also to catch some of the typos that might be there. And then also, feel free to reach out to career services counselors to have them proof your letter for you, and or work with your faculty. So here's a sample cover letter that, and I've the numbers and things are changed, and the names but these are actual cover letters that I worked with students on. But like I say, I eliminated the contact information and changed the names. So this is an example of a 3-paragraph cover letter. And you'll notice that the student here used the heading, same heading that they used on their resume, or I'll say they used the same heading that they did on the resume. And then they list the date, who the letter is going to, and then say, "Dear Ms. Harrison." And this letter starts right out. I'm applying for the fiscal analyst position 2 with the Washington State Department of Revenue as posted. And then they state where it is, Wildcat Career Network. And then just a brief summary sentence is, "I believe my educational standing combined with my professional background make me an ideal candidate for this position." So that's a pretty basic, but a very effective opening paragraph, introductory paragraph. And then this student launched into a little bit about their education, their background, their education, what they're learning in school, but then also provided additional information about their work experience and how that made them an ideal candidate for this position, because they had been doing the same types of things that are required in this position. And then you'll notice the closing sentence as well. It reiterates their enthusiasm. "I am very excited about and confident in my abilities to fulfill the position." And then they say, "I look forward to an opportunity to visit with you further." And she includes her phone number and email. And then the "thank you for consideration, respectfully," and then lists the enclosures at the bottom. She had included a resume and 2 letters of reference. So this is one sample. This is a 3-paragraph cover letter. And I'm going to show you one more. Actually, before I do that, let me mention over here on the left-hand side, in the left-hand column, I just, for additional tips and information, I've given you a link to our Career Services website cover letter page, which has a lot of other information that you might find really helpful. So here is a second sample cover letter. Now this one is a 4-paragraph cover letter. And you'll notice again, the student in this particular case used the same heading that they used on our resume. And then they include the date, who it's addressed to. And then again, they launch the letter with, "Dear Mr. Waters," and then they start right out with what position they're applying for, where they heard about it, and then say that it strongly matches their career interests, their educational background, and skills they've developed through the work experience. In this instance, this is a pretty good example, the student, the first of the body paragraphs describes what they did in school, the activities, the clubs and organizations that they participated in, and how they gained valuable experience directly related to the job in school. The second body paragraph, so the 3rd paragraph in this letter, they describe what they did during the past 3 summers, however they worked in the past 3 summers that provided them with additional experience that was directly related to the job. And then again, in closing, they say, "This combination of education and practical work experience appears to be an ideal match for this particular position. I look forward to an opportunity to visit with you further about it," and then provide their contact information. So these are a couple samples that are really effective and very good. As you get really good at writing cover letters, you might figure out other ways to kind of generate more excitement. But these are tried and true formats and examples of letters that have been really effective over the years. So I hope you found this information helpful. Here is the Career Services phone number, our email address, and our website. And then at the bottom it says that we also offer, throughout each quarter, we offer numerous workshops on resumes, interviewing, cover letters, and things. And so here, if you go to www.cdu.edu/career/live, that takes you to a constantly updated list of our live workshops that will be being held over the next few weeks or each quarter. So anyways, like I said, I hope you found this information helpful. I hope that you will take advantage of the resources available on the Career Services website. And I do really encourage you to reach out to your career counselors on your campus for assistance, as I know not only myself, but all my colleagues would be really happy to help you.